And from this demand management, we will be getting PIR, Plant Independent Requirement. This demand management and getting a PIR is nothing but doing your forecasting. We do our forecasting. Okay, but which tool you will be using it? Where you will be doing this demand management?
In the sales and operation planning.
In the sales and operations planning. Very right. We can use SAP S/4HANA S&OP, sales and operation planning, to do the forecasting and to get the PIR generated. But 15 out of 14 projects will not be using S&OP. The projects which I have done, only one project, I have at least 12 to 15 projects I was involved directly, indirectly for PP. Only one project has used the S&OP, sales and operations planning. They don't use it. Then from where the PIR comes? PIR is basically forecasting. So from where the forecast comes? What can be the another places from where the forecast can come?
You.
Can you repeat again, please?
APO.
PO, very good. So we have some advanced planning tools from where the forecast can come. APO, from APO the forecast can come. It will be coming in the form of PIR, Plant Independent Requirement. So from APO it can come. It can also come from the other tools like IBP. IBP is going to replace APO, either APO or from IBP. We can do the demand management, demand planning, and from there we can get the PIR, Plant Independent Requirements. This Plant Independent Requirements, you can also maintain it manually, or you can also upload through Excel. Earlier, we were creating programs to upload through Excel. Now we have a standard functionality. By using Fiori, maintain PIR applications, we can directly upload the PIRs through Excel. Manually, we can maintain through the transaction MD61. Okay. So it can come from APO, it can come from IBP, it can also come from Excel. We have some companies only use the Excel tools. They maintain the forecast in the Excel sheet. They have a macros in Excel. Okay, they have a programs built in the Excel that can also do the forecasting for them. Company also use some third-party tools. One of them, which I have seen, is kind of a JD Edwards. They have used to generate the forecasting, and those forecasting was brought into SAP system. Another third-party tool which I have seen, which has been used, is Kinexus. So Kinexus, JDA, JD Edwards, those are the tools which can be used. Okay. So this PIR, Plant Independent Requirement, which is nothing but a forecast when we maintain in the system, what would be the next step after this? What would be the next step happening after this, once the PIR is uploaded?
Executing MRP for those PIR created.
Executing MRP, Material Requirement Planning. So we'll be executing MRP for it. Material Requirement Planning would be executed. So MRP execution, what is MRP? Anyone can explain what is MRP?
It's a one kind of planning engine.
It's a kind of a planning engine. Very good. What that planning engine does? Karta kya hai?
It creates orders for the shop floor, or it creates orders to purchase.
It creates order from the shop floor, or it creates the purchasing. So what does this MRP does? Basically, what definition I give it to MRP is a planning tool which makes sure we have a right material available at right time in right quantity at right place. That's what this MRP would be doing. making sure we have a right material available in right quantity at right time in right place. Now, how this will be doing? Very simple. We'll be jumping into the detail of MRP. At least 2 sessions we'll be having on MRP, and within MRP we have MRP 3 and 4 view, where basically we maintain the planning strategy. We'll be having a 2 additional session on the planning strategies to understand this in the deeper, right? But generally the basic MRP, which we use MRP type PD, what it does, it would be matching your forecast with your stocks, with your supplies, with the demand. Forecast, we all understand the PIR, Plan Independent Requirement, which we have uploaded is my forecast. Stock, we know that whatever the stock we have in the storage location, that is our stock. What is supply? What is covered in supply? Any examples? Supply क्या है?
Is it raw material?
Raw material. What raw material? Raw material stock, raw material
A raw
production.
material to produce the finished product.
It's a in-transit material which is come in our plant.
In transit material. So basically what is covered in supply? Anything which will increase your stock. Anything which will increase your stock is considered as a supply. Okay. Your purchase requisition, your purchase order, production order will increase the stock or it will decrease the stock?
Decrease the stock.
Decrease the stock. Anyone who thinks that production order will increase the stock?
That it will be increased stock of a finished good.
Yes, so production order has 2 things. Production order will consume raw materials or semi-finished good, and it will deliver the finished good. So finished good, it will increase the stock, and raw material and semi-finished good, it will decrease the stock.
In
Raw
that
material-
case, shouldn't we mention that it will decrease the inventory and increase FG is also an inventory. Okay.
So it totally depends what we are talking about. If we are talking about a finished good, the production order would be supply, right? Because it is going to increase the stock. If we are talking about raw material or SFG, production order can act as a demand. It would be a demand for raw material and SFG. It will reduce the stock of raw material and SFG. So production order will come into the demand. Your sales order will come into the demand. STO, stock transfer order, whether it comes in a demand or supply. Where does the STO fits? In demand or supply?
One will supply and one will receive it. So my view is both.
Both. The plant where the stock is increasing is kind of a supply. The plant where basically the stock is reducing is demand. So it can come in both. So MRP would be comparing your demand versus stock versus supply. And then it will try to identify based on the demand we have, whether stock based on the demand and the forecast, the stock and supply is able to meet or not. Okay, stock or supply is able to meet the forecast and the demand or not. Based on that, it will come to a conclusion and it will try to find, do we have a shortage? Do we have any kind of shortage? If we have a shortage and we need to procure it, it will be creating a purchase requisition. If we have a shortage and we need to produce it, it would be creating a planned order. It would be creating a planned order. What is next? Once the planned order is created, what will happen next?
This information should go to execution system, a shop floor.
This will go to the execution system for the shop floor. Okay. So this. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Net requirement calculation will happen.
Net requirement calculation happens in the MRP.
Yes,
To
sir.
create a planned order, MRP do the net requirement calculations. Once the planned order is generated, what will happen? Once the planned order is generated, can I produce against this planned order? No. Because these orders are called as unformed orders. So this planned order need to be checked, need to be validated by the planner, and they will say, this is the right quantity, right date, right material, planned order has been generated. Once we agree it need to be produced, it would need to be converted into a production order. It need to be converted into a production order. Once production order has been created, till this point, it's a planning. Planning can finish in some departments by creating a planned order, or in some departments converting a planned order into a production order. The planning part will finish. We call it as a PP, right? Production planning. Production is doing a manufacturing and then doing a planning. So this left-hand side part, till creation of the production order, it's basically the planning part. Once the production order has been created, what would be the next step? उसके बाद next क्या करेंगे हम?
I think this production order only should be sent to the execution system.
Production order needs to be sent to the execution. It will be going to the production supervisor, and production supervisor would be checking. What kind of things production supervisor check in the production order?
Material availability.
Material availability. So the first thing would be checked is the material availability. A material availability, raw material availability check will happen, whether the material is available or not. If material is not available, what we will be doing?
We have to procure, right? But that should have done while the MRP process itself.
Yeah, MRP process itself. So MRP is running. If I need to produce the material in January, and if we don't have a stock, then it need to be procured in the month of November. So it need to create a purchase requisition in the month of October. In short, in next June, if I need to produce something, MRP will give me advance based on the lead times, will advance purchase requisition in the month of February or March itself. So with the material availability check, we would be creating a reservation document if the materials are not available. With respect to this reservation document, we would be getting stock from our store or warehouse, would be dispatching the stock, and will be having a stock available with us. Once the material availability is done, and then supervisor will say, now you finally execute the order on the shop floor. To give that command that you execute the order in the shop floor, we would be doing production order release. We'll be releasing the production order, right? Once production order is released, what would be the next step? Once production order,
We'll issue the goods.
We'll issue the goods. Okay. Once production order is released, the actual execution will happen at the shop floor. This is not a system step. Actually, you need to manufacture it. And for actual manufacturing, you would be consuming raw materials. You would be consuming semi-finished good. Let's say if you are producing juice bottles, you would be consuming your juice concentrate. You would be consuming sugar. You would be consuming pulp. You would be consuming water. You would be consuming the bottles. You would be consuming the caps. You would be consuming the labels from the juice bottle. And then finally, you would be producing a juice bottle. okay, or a pack of juice bottles. So in actual consumption, one thing we would be doing is issue of raw material to production order. Whatever the material we are consuming, it will do issue of raw material to the production order. Then we'll be doing the confirmation. In confirmation, we'll be confirming the activities. Activities that how much of hours we have taken to produce it. To a particular machine, a particular operation has taken that much of hours, that much of machine has been utilized, that much of manpower has been utilized, that activity confirmation will be doing. And then finally, we need to do the goods receipt. With good receipt, the actual juice bottle will get produced, will be having a finished goods stock available. FG stock would be available. Okay. We can also do one thing. We can also combine all these three, issue, confirmation, and the goods issue. This rather than the three steps, there are the two options we'll see in the master data and configuration, how we can differentiate between the three steps and the two steps. So this can be done as a three-step. This can be done as a three-step, or it can be done as a single step with the confirmation. We can have an automatic issue of the raw material to the production order. What is this called? Automatic issue of the raw material to the production order with the production order confirmation. With the confirmation itself, whatever the BOM quantities are there, my material will get consumed. What is that terminology called?
Back flushing.
Back flushing. Very good. Back flush will happen. Back flushing of the materials will happen. Right? So once the back flushing of the material happens, the material will get consumed. And once the material get consumed, we will also be having a good receipt. Within the confirmation, a good receipt can also be done, and your stock will increase. So with the back flush, your raw material stock will go down, and with the good receipt, your FG stock will go up. With the good receipt, FG stock will go up. Okay. So once the FG stock is there, FG stock came into the picture, then my production cycle has been completed. I did the planning, I created a planned order, then production orders, then did the material availability check. With material availability check, there would be so many things in the production order. There would be schedule lines, there would be capacity of the work centers, right? There would be a costing also would be coming into the picture. So many things would be there. I have shown a simple vanilla process so that you can understand how it need to happen end to end. Any question on this end-to-end production process?
One question, Parminder. Some of the materials can be marked for back flushing, but some of the components might not be marked, right? For those materials, will we create GI for each of the material, or put together we will collectively put one GI with all the materials?
You can do one GI for all the materials together, and you can also do the individual GI of the material. That totally depends how our business operation process is structured. Let's say you are having, in this process, you are having sugar. Now you say that sugar which I am consuming, I don't want to do back flush. I have a sugar bag which comes up, a weighing happen for that bag, and that bag get poured into the bag get poured into the big vessels, big drums, big mixtures, big silos. At that time, I know that this is a 750 kg bag of the sugar which is going into the silo. I know 750 kg sugar has been consumed in this particular production order. At the same place, somebody can open the system and they can issue the 750 kg to the production order. Then there are another small elements are there which production guys are noting down when they are consuming it. let's say the acids they use, the flavors they use, the fragrance they use, the colors they use to produce the juice, that elements they will be just noting down how much they have done the consumption. And at the end of the shift, they want to do the consumption together. So within a single transaction, goods issued to the production order, all these 5-6 items can be consumed as per the actual consumption. And there can be some materials you say that, boss, I am producing 500 bottles of juice, so I would be consuming 500 bottles. I would be consuming 500 labels. I would be consuming 500 caps. So that I want to automatically consume. As soon as I confirm 500 bottles has been produced, my stock of empty bottles, caps, and wrappers should all automatically get reduced. That can happen with the backflush. So we can have all the 3 scenarios in a single production order: single material consumed, group of material consumed, and some materials are backflushed.
Okay, like we do auto GI, can we also do auto GR using some, there's some configuration in place?
Yes, we can also do the auto GR. As soon as you do the confirmation, the auto GR can happen and the good receipt can be generated. There are some configuration that depends on your confirmation control key, which would be available in your operations.
Okay.
With that,
And when
GR can be done.
when we do the confirmation, these activities which you have just marked, right? Do they have some limits? Can it be any random data like 5 or 6 hours, or do we have restrictions? Like master data, it should have this much limit only, like 5 to 6 hours, 8 hours, the machine hours, the labor hours, like that.
So generally this data comes from your routing. In your routing, we put that to do this operation as per the master data, as per the routing, how much hours need to be consumed. And that comes from that routing data. It would be automatically available when you will try to do the confirmation. And with the same amount, we do the confirmation. But system has a capability that it would allow you to change the activities, to change and put the manual activities which is required. Now, whether the tolerance is available or not, in most of the projects which we have done, actually, we don't touch much about the activities. We go ahead with the standard consumption, which is coming from the master data. But whether any tolerance is available or not, I need to check and get back to you.
Okay, but the actual hours, rather than what is maintained in the routing, that can be changed during the confirmation. That's your point,
That
right?
can be changed during the confirmation, right?
Okay.
Ajay is saying if a part is backflushed, it cannot be serialized. Yes, correct. So if you are doing a backflush, you need to give the serial number. Okay, that which serial number would be consumed, right? So that serial number you need to go and give it into the backflush screen, that if the consumption materials are having a serial number, that need to be given. So that would be the manual consumption we need to do it. Okay, if the serial numbers are involved.